listening to the Overcast. Sunshine on a cloudy day. Part of the Oversoul Gaming channel. Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to the Overcast, the joke-making, fun-having pop culture podcast. I am your host, Justin, aka Oversoul.
And I am your co-host, Nick, aka The Vaping Fiend. Happy New Year, everybody!
Yes, who, Mr. Co-host here, will also have had, by the time you're hearing this, a birthday have come and gone.
Yes!
And it's on New Year's Day, too, is it not?
It is on New Year's Day. And, I'm gonna be, 34?
Yeah, there you are. Or, by the time people are hearing this, you will have been 34, or you will have just turned. And you are now, or will be. You know how it goes. At the time of recording this, it is December 29th, so we're actually a few days away from it all, and what have you. But by the time you're hearing this, it'll be the first week of January. So, most likely. And, I didn't say we're bringing you sunshine on a cloudy day, but I will say we're bringing you fireworks on a snowy night. How about that? Because
okay,
there hasn't been a lot of sunshine in these days. There's been a lot of snow and fog, so...
Yeah.
So... But anyways...
Yes.
But tell me... how was your Christmas? We went on we took a break. For the audience, it will have been 2 weeks without an episode by the time this comes out. So
Yes. So I my dad got me a because I sent my mom a couple of different shirt options because they signed Bray Wyatt. WWE signed Bray Wyatt to a Legends contract, and any and all proceeds for his merchandise go to his family. So his family, for the foreseeable future, so long as they keep his merchandise on the website, his family will be taken care of by the WWE. My dad got me
okay,
one of his legacy t-shirts. My dad got me one of his legacy t-shirts. The Evolution of Bray Wyatt. It's got I think I'll have to send you a picture of it.
so yeah. So how was your Christmas overall? I do want to hear about all the things that you got. I also want to hear like what happened, who you hung out with, what you ate. Tell me. The
So I didn't get too many things. My Christmas is coming when Sarah comes into town on Sunday. She's bringing some Christmas presents for Willow too. Um,
I know that you know some of what you will be getting.
yes, and I am super fucking excited for this one. Um, I am finally getting my own OLED Nintendo Switch. I'm
And,
excited.
and let's be real. New
Just
Year's Eve, these are birthmas presents.
right, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Birthmas, yeah.
Yeah, all
But
those
no,
fireworks just for
like,
you.
and
Don't you feel special?
yeah. But no, she also when she was listening to our multimedia platforms episode, I remember me talking about the Sixth Sense 3-book series.
Mm-hmm.
I count that as one thing because it's a set of books, but she went online. She went out of her way and found all 3 books and got them all for me. I'm like, Oh my God. I'm going to enjoy these because I don't think I ever finished the first book. To be honest, to be completely honest, I don't know if I ever finished it. And now I'm excited to get my hands on it again.
Very nice. You know what?
I'm so excited.
I just realized, by the way, smack in the face. I could have had a V8, but not only that, I yeah, more '90s references for all you Gen Zers out there. Uh, yeah, no, but
Yes.
seriously, I forgot to mention this is the season 2 premiere of the show.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
It sure is.
this may be episode 26, but it is also season 2, episode 1. Um,
Yes.
2023 year in review. That'll be the topic later in the episode, by the way. Just a quick peek behind the curtain. Y'all may remember a few episodes back, Nick had 3 Media Corner items and I had nothing. I just gave it all to him and, gave a little input. Well,
Hmm.
this time the table is flipped. I got 3 things and he has
Yup.
nada. He was too busy preparing for the topic this time. So we will,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, sure was.
we'll give that a a pass. But keep telling me about your Christmas.
Oh, dude. So my daughter made out like a bandit. My brother got her this. Okay, so it's fucking hilarious because my brother bought this toy for my daughter with my sense of humor in mind because him and I have we share the same sense of humor when it comes to toilet humor. Um,
Hmm.
so so it's this damn fucking dog, and it's fucking it's basically the toy is called Pooping Puppies, and it comes with three little bones that you can feed it, and it comes with a diaper for the dog, and if you push down on the front legs, it legitimately shits out these bones, and it makes fart noises in the process, and it is fucking hilarious.
That oh boy. Uh I'm sure you fine distinguished gentlemen enjoyed that toy very much, but what did your daughter think of it?
Oh man, dude, she loves it just as much as I do.
Well, that's she's your daughter, so there.
Yeah, yeah, I'm that daddy's girl. That's my girl.
Yep.
Oh my
I think
gosh. But
I
no, she got my dad got her a couple of Disney princess dolls. She got Rapunzel and Moana from my dad. Um she also got this a couple stocking stuffers that also came from my brother. She got this
those Disney princess dolls when she opened them was she like, "Do these poop?" And they were like, "No." And
no,
she's like, "Well,
okay,
then I don't
so
want
she
them."
opened so so no, she opened the Barbie dolls first and then opened the big box, which was the pooping puppy.
Of course.
I'm glad
Okay.
I'm glad that we did it in that order because I'm sure she would have said that. I'm sure she would have said that.
Yeah.
But no, oh dude. No, I got her a couple Barbie dolls too. She got she got a Disney, I don't know if this she would constitute as a Disney princess, but I don't remember the name. My mom got her one of the dolls from the new Disney movie Wish. She got my mom got her the doll for Asha, the main protagonist of the movie. And then I got her the two Barbie dolls that I got for her. I got her the oh fuck, what was it? Hold on. I know I got her a pastry chef Barbie. Pastry. I got her pastry chef Barbie, and then the other one that I got for her because I don't
Kate
remember
McKinnon
the
Barbie.
exact. Oh my gosh, yes, weird Barbie. Uh,
Yes.
hold on.
But the good kind
It
of
was
weird.
the Barbie, Dreamtopia unicorn Barbie. It comes with
Okay.
like a removable headband with a unicorn horn and like a unicorn mane, and then it comes with like a removable unicorn tail too.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
the couple stocking stuffers that she got from my brother is like almost like because I think they went to the Five Below here in town and got the what it's made by the same people that make Squishmallows, but it was a bluey like I don't remember what it's called. For the life of me, I cannot remember what this thing is called. But it's made by the same people that make Squishmallows, but it was a bluey. She got that. She got another
yes.
Barbie doll from my brother that can be used as a bath toy because it changes colors in water. So there's that. She's made out like a goddamn bandit, and she hasn't even gotten all of her shit yet.
Did you have a bandit's worthy feast to go with all those presents? My god.
Oh, dude. So, yeah, we had turkey, we had corn, mashed potatoes, and garlic knots.
That's an interesting
Yeah,
add-on.
we had garlic knots. Yeah.
Okay. So who's the
My mom. I
who's the
think she,
we in this scenario? You all you had some family over or
me. Yeah. So it was me, my mom, my daughter, and my mom's friend Bonnie. It came. She came. Her friend Bonnie came over for Christmas lunch.
okay. Very nice.
And what I usually like to do, whether it be Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner, what I like to do with the leftovers is I like to make a homemade famous bowl, like from KFC.
Right, yeah, mix a few
So
things
what I
together.
did was I put the turkey, the mashed potatoes, the corn, all in the same bowl together, and then I just added some cheese. The only thing I was missing was the gravy.
Right, yeah, I was gonna
We
say
didn't have any.
gravy.
We didn't have any turkey. We didn't have any turkey gravy, but we had the turkey.
Fair enough.
It was
All
yummy.
right.
It was good. It was good. Yeah, it's some good leftovers.
Sounds like a festive
But
and bountiful Christmas that
oh, I'm
you had.
my dad. Actually, I did get a little something something from my dad. Besides the shirt. And this is a big one. So from Omaha Steaks, my dad um sent four boneless pork chops, four Omaha steak burgers, four butcher's top cut sirloins, four caramel tartlets, four gourmet jumbo franks, and one shaker of Omaha steak seasoning. We're gonna be eating good for a little bit. There's because those top sirloins, that's some expensive. Dude, this shit came in a styrofoam cooler with dry ice the Saturday before Christmas.
So, we actually, my mom and I got a Christmas ham from my grandmother in a coolered package
Uh-huh.
like that that we didn't take with us on our Christmas ventures, but we like warmed it up the other day because it was a pre-cooked, pre-sliced ham, but we warmed it up in the oven
Yeah.
and put the leftovers in the fridge. And then today with the leftovers, I made like some au gratin potatoes in the oven in a casserole dish,
Uh-huh.
and I took some of the leftover ham and mixed it in there with it and
Okay.
made that. So that
There
was
you
good.
go.
But yeah, it
Oh, that
sounds
sounds
like you
yummy.
had a bountiful Christmas and all that.
Hey,
Mine was pretty good.
dude.
Mine was pretty good too. I went uh down to Rockford to my brother's place. The whole family was there.
Okay.
Our friend PJ showed up for a bit. We had a feast. We did the we had a turkey stuffing, cheesy potatoes, um a green bean casserole. Mhm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And
I'm
and
jealous.
we had a whole spread of appetizers, deviled eggs that I made, pickle roll-ups that I made. Um
Nice.
we had
You were talking about those the last episode.
yeah, we had a veggie tray, we had olives, black and green, um out to eat, all kinds of
Ooh,
cookies. Um
yummy.
and yeah. There was even a fruit cake there, believe it or not. Like
Okay.
yeah, and yeah, and like candy and stuff, and then we had pies for dessert. There was a apple cinnamon with caramel drizzle and with the crumble
Ooh.
crust, so it's more like a cobbler than a pie. um,
Oh my God.
yes,
See, that's why I can't wait to fucking get dig into these caramel apple tartlets.
mm-hmm.
Oh my
And then of
God, I
course
am so
we
excited. And
also
there's there's air fryer instructions for them. I'm excited.
we also had the traditional pumpkin pie, which we made homemade whipped cream for. We took like an actual a
Ooh.
bottle of like whipping cream, like the milk stuff, and there was instructions on it to make whipped cream. You just needed
Uh-huh.
vanilla and powdered sugar. That's it. So
Very nice. Now, for the record, I'm oohing the homemade whipped cream, not the pumpkin pie, because I cannot stand pumpkin pie.
fair enough.
It is it's I it's the texture. I'm gonna be honest, it's the
Yeah,
texture.
it
Like
is a little. It is
I
a
have
little
no issues.
gelatiny, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is. It's I don't typically care for the pumpkin flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Now I will enjoy the shit out of the Little Debbie's Pumpkin Delight snack cakes and the Little Debbie's Pumpkin Delights ice cream that they have. That's some good stuff.
Okay. But we did presents later that night when Dalton got home from doing his tattooing work. But while we ate, we
Okay.
watched the second Spider Verse movie again. Everyone there is a
Nice.
fan of it. So and yeah, Dalton came home and we chat and ate for a bit again, and he then we did presents and
There
a
you
few of the
go.
things that I got I wanted to point out was like well, Dalton and Lindsay, they got me one of the things they got me was uh a book that ties in with the Final Fantasy VII remake called Traces of Two Pasts, and it's about Aerith and Tifa.
Nice.
Um
Very
yeah,
nice.
so I'm gonna be giving that a read here very soon. I want to read it before Rebirth comes out. And
There you
from
go.
Ryan and Carissa, I got so much My Hero Academia like figures and collectibles. It's ridiculous. They said they just
Nice.
like
Very
found a bunch of
nice.
them on sale. So yeah, and
Did
I'll
you get
just
25 gifts?
huh?
Did
Oh
you get
no,
25 gifts?
no, but it sounds like your daughter did. Um,
Yeah, no, I guarantee you she got way more than 25.
um,
Oh,
oh, another My Hero thing I got. This was from my mom. Was a hoodie that's the same as Midoriya's hoodie in the show. Is the main character, the green and white one that he
okay.
wears. It's like a
Nice.
replica. I also got
Oh, that's awesome.
this movie trivia card game
Uh-huh.
where like every card just has like questions on them from movies, like really old ones but also really new ones too. There's some pretty recent ones in here, like last year
Uh-huh.
recent. um but just to
Okay.
give you a couple of quick examples, here's one you'll probably know. In the movie E.T., what was the name of the boy who befriended E.T.?
Oh, fuck. Um,
It starts with an
I'm
E.
gonna kick I'm gonna kick myself. I'm gonna fucking IMDb this shit.
L.
Elliot. Elliot.
Elliot. Yes, there you go.
Elliot.
Yeah. Oh, here's another one. Will Ferrell and Christina Applegate play newsreaders in which 2004 comedy?
Say what? Oh,
Will
Bewitched.
no. Will Ferrell and Christina Applegate play newsreaders in which 2004 comedy?
Oh, newsreaders.
Like a
Wow. No.
like a news
Oh,
anchor.
fuck. Anchorman?
Yes, there you
Rock,
go. Here's a easy as piss one. The character Lightning McQueen features in which animated movie?
motherfucker, Cars.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, so there's a um
Oh, man.
in the 1942 movie Bambi, what is the name of the rabbit who's
Oh,
Bambi's friend?
Thumper.
Yep, see there you go. So
Thumper.
it's stuff like that. See, there was like, 2004 and like 19 whatever. They got shit on here from Schindler's List, Casablanca, Casino Royale, The Fugitive, Do Revenge. What
Okay.
is the here's one you can relate to. What is the animal that Indiana Jones is afraid of?
Snakes.
Yep.
I've
Yep.
never even seen the Indiana Jones movie, and I got that because you told me that. Yeah, basically, yeah. I don't know. I don't do snakes.
There's a famous
I
line
had
in the movie where he said, "Snakes, why did it have to be snakes?" When he
in the
runs
new one.
into some. Mm-mm.
In the new one.
In the very first movie, the original.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and watch those because I know they're all on Disney Plus now. Even the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That okay?
They
I
are
lied.
classics.
I did
Well, except
see
for the fourth
Kingdom of
one.
the Crystal. I did see Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, that's the
I did
worst
see
one.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I'm gonna be honest because I wasn't interested in it for Harrison Ford at the time. I was interested in it for Shia LaBeouf because Shia LaBeouf was doing a lot of movies that I really liked back in like the 2004 time. No,
Okay.
2009. 2000 no, 2009 time. It was cuz my favorite movie that he was in was Disturbia in '09. Oh wait, oh 07, or was that '07?
Um, but Ryan and Dalton got a lot of D&D stuff. I remember that specifically. Oh,
Nice.
another thing I got is Super Mario Monopoly. All of the tokens are the power ups, and the
Oh,
property
that's
on
amazing.
the properties on the
That's
board are the games from throughout the years.
that's amazing. Okay.
Yeah, and there's a little question block that when you press it, it makes noises from the games. Um,
Right.
and it uses like
Nice. That's awesome.
Mario coins instead of the traditional money. It's kind of a unique take on the whole Monopoly thing. Um,
That's awesome.
I gave everyone also in their packages like well, like for Carissa, let's see, she's into the anime Demon Slayer recently, so I got her a blanket for that, and
Nice.
a game that was on her wish list, and something else that was on her wish list. I can't remember what it was now. I got Ryan a couple things off his wish list too, a lamp and a Steam Deck thing. But I also gifted him a copy of the Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core remaster
Yeah,
on
he was talking
on
about that
Steam.
on
Yeah,
Court of Nerd. Yeah.
it's because it's a prequel to Seven, and I feel like because they're doing like an alternate timeline thing with the Seven remake thing,
Yeah.
the character Zack from Crisis Core is going to play more important role, so it's good to have his backstory. Um,
Absolutely.
so um, and I got everyone a bunch of mystery figures too, like pop figures. Like one of the pop figures I got Ryan wasn't a mystery though. It was a Venom Iron Man. Because
Nice. Okay.
Iron Man is one of his favorites. Venom is one of his favorites. So I got him something that is both. And
Nice.
it and but also like there was mini pop figures too. Uh, that were mystery packs. Star Wars one for Ryan and a Batman one for Dalton. Dalton got a mini Robin
Nice.
in his. I can't remember which
Okay.
Star Wars character Ryan got. Now that I think about it, um, I'll have
Oh
to ask.
damn.
I'll have to ask him. Carissa got a couple of mystery anime figures from Spy Family and Demon Slayer that she likes.
Nice.
Lindsay got her mystery figures were two of them were little Disney Doorables, which are just these like
Okay.
they come in a 2 pack and they're these very tiny little figures with big eyes and shit and they're just adorable. But they call them Disney Doorables because I think they can sit inside this like little door figure that you can buy for them. But
Okay.
one of them was Olaf from Frozen and one was Rex from Toy Story, and then one of her other mystery figures was a small plush figure from Nightmare Before Christmas, and she was
Uh.
over the moon that it was zero when she opened it.
Oh
Um,
man, I bet.
I
That's
remember that. I
awesome.
think I also one of the mystery figures I got for Dalton too was also a Nintendo controller mystery figure.
Nice.
It would either end up being a Nintendo controller or a handheld, like a Game Boy or something. It's a little clip on backpack figure, but it's a surprise when you open it what it is. And his ended up being
Okay.
A Nintendo 64 controller. And
Nice.
he was like thrilled that the buttons worked on it. And this is great
Nice.
because I think one year one of the mystery packs that I got for Christmas was a PlayStation one that was like a PS3 controller. So
Nice.
yeah, so that was cool. It was cool seeing everyone get the things and the stuff. My mom got some books
Hell yeah.
and whatnot that were on her wish list and some coffee mugs. Her and Lindsay got a lot of coffee mugs actually. Carissa too. Oh, Ryan actually got a
Nice.
couple of ramen bowls that were My Hero Academia themed. Um, like
Nice.
legitimate ramen bowls with chopsticks and everything. Um, so thought that was pretty cool. Everyone had a pretty decent Christmas. Got some pretty decent gifts. It seemed.
Hell yeah.
And then like yeah, I said PJ came over later. We stayed up a bit. We watched some TV, and then uh the next morning we had breakfast. We had bacon and eggs and pancakes, and
Nice.
then everyone went on their merry way, and that was Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
a
I've got one
jolly
more
bowl of
thing.
jelly. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I got one more thing. This kind of like I know it it's old news, but it's news to me because I just found out about this today. So
Okay.
I've just found out uh, that back, and I think you said it was September that this news came out. Gordon
Oh yeah, this is what
Ramsay,
you told me about earlier. Okay, yeah.
Gordon Ramsay is starting to be more open about talking about the death of his son. And there was an article that I read today, and it said there's really no books to help you through this process. Well, normally I don't like to intrude in celebrities' lives. But when I read this, I could not stay quiet. So what I did was I tweeted him. I got on Twitter and I tweeted him and I talked about this book in the Tearjerkers episode. Um, there's been two engagements with this tweet and now two link clicks. I'm hoping this that one of them was Gordon Ramsay. So I said to him, I said, Gordon Ramsay, I don't normally like to intrude on celebrities' lives, but when I read about the death of your son, I couldn't stay quiet about this because there is a resource as a grieving dad myself. So, and I included the product page link for Amazon's on Amazon for the book that I talked about in the Tearjerkers episode, Grieving Dads to the Brink and Back. While and the guy that wrote this book, and I talked about this before, but refresher, he couldn't find any resources to help him in the process. So he took it into his own hands and wrote the book himself. And it's basically a compilation of different stories from different dads who lost their kids to either suicide, murder, or just pure accident. It's
Okay.
not light stuff. So this one helped me. And I think with how private Gordon Ramsay was for a while about this, tells me how strong of a man he is based on the fact that he could still push himself to make television appearances. Something tells me this is going to help him. And I hope I got his attention with it. And I hope he I'm not gonna go as far and wish and hope that he reaches out to me and says thank you because I'm not expecting that. But I am hoping that this reached him and it helps him like it's helped me. From one grieving dad to another. It's something that I really hope helps him.
I hope so too. I really do. It was a nice thing you did. All right.
Yeah, I
Well,
yeah,
with all of that
yeah.
out of the way and our Christmas recaps, I say we shimmy on over into this shorter than usual media corner. I am going to try
Yes.
and fly through these three things I have.
Sounds like a plan to me.
You probably know this, but in the early 90s, there were two different Sonic cartoons airing at the same time. One was dark and dramatic, the other was a hilarious comedy about chili dogs. And the same guy played Sonic in both shows. Isn't that wild? The same guy playing two different versions of the same guy?
All right, everyone, welcome to the Media Corner, the section reserved for news, reviews, and recommendations, of which I have one of each tonight, today, whatever it is for you.
And I have Zip.
Which is fine, It may be that way sometimes. So, I'm sure you'll
Yeah,
have something in the next one. Uh,
absolutely.
so,
Absolutely, I
actually,
will.
I think one of your Christmas gifts will probably be something in your next media corner. One of the things I know about that you don't. So,
Okay, okay. All right, all right.
so, um, So I today watched the latest Eli Roth horror film, Thanksgiving,
Oh,
based on a fake trailer from a Grindhouse movie that he made into a real movie.
okay.
And it was entertaining. I can say that for sure. It is definitely a dark comedy horror movie. It's definitely going
Okay.
for a little bit of haha vibe, at least maybe in the beginning, but it's definitely also some social commentary on the over the topness of Black Friday and like social media influencers and shit. Um
Okay.
so there's some of that, but basically your setup here is that like it's Black Friday and a bunch of people rush this like Walmart parody store and some people get killed and injured in the process.
Okay.
And it's violent and gory, and a year later the guy who owns the store decides that they're going to have another sale again regardless of what happened last year, and somebody who somehow has
Oof.
ties to what happened doesn't like that very much, so they don a pilgrim costume and a John Carver mask and go around John carving people's throats with an axe.
Jesus Christ.
Basically, one of the asshole teenagers that was there at the thing records a video of all the chaos and he puts it online, and the killer is able to
Uh-huh.
identify some people based on this video. So the killer goes around basically killing these people and kidnapping others to kind of like make a
Uh-huh.
point. It's a whole revenge thing. I will
Right.
say that who it is became kind of predictable about like halfway through the movie for me, but I was kind of teeter-tottering between two different people, and then the movie
Hmm.
ended up making me think that it was one of the ones I was teeter-tottering between, but then at that very moment I was like, nah, it's definitely the other one then. um
Hmm.
so
Right.
this movie kind of reminded me of Scream a little bit in the terms of its like
Okay.
comedic horror vibes. It's an
Okay.
Eli Roth film, so you can expect it to be gory. I mean, people are being disemboweled with table saws and shit in this movie. Um,
Jesus. Okay.
but it's not as bad as Hostel. I'm telling you, like the man toned it down after those movies. I don't know what it is. Like maybe it's just because he got older or whatever. But like I was like even
Maybe.
Green Inferno, which was like his homage to Cannibal Holocaust, was actually way tamer than I was expecting it to be, considering it's about cannibalism.
Really.
You know, um, yeah, Green Inferno. Like I was expecting after Hostel, I was expecting his next movies to be worse, but they actually get less gory as he goes. This, all things considered,
Man.
this is a very gory film. This is a very gory film, and I would still consider it his least gory film, if that makes any sense. Um,
My cousin's kids were talking to me about some different horror movies that they really enjoy. His kids are 10 and 12, and they love horror movies.
yeah.
That's good parenting.
Um, so but this is your typical slasher type of movie, for sure. In terms of horror, I would say slasher comedy, dark. Like the. I've seen a lot of other people give it comparisons to Scream as well. It's nowhere near as good, but it is like
Mhm.
comparable for sure. Um,
Right.
it's an enjoyable movie. I enjoyed it. It has some pacing issues. I don't want to. It's not. It doesn't jump around, but the pacing does feel a little disjointed sometimes, in the sense that the transitions between scenes aren't very smooth. It's kind of like they go like, okay, this happened, and now next scene. There's not as much of
Okay.
a connection. um,
Right, 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 right.
and it's definitely not amateur hour. I mean, there's some notable people in this movie. Some horror alumni for sure, but
Okay.
but it's like I don't know, and it's almost 2 hours. It's not very long. It's like an hour and 45 minutes or so.
Okay. That's not bad.
But I would give it. Oh man, it was. I don't think it's quite an 8, but a 7 feels mean, so I would give it like a 7.5. If I'm being honest.
Okay. A little bit
Um,
on the halfway point. All right.
just because of like the weird pacing and the fact that it's like, and the fact that the killer twist is kind of predictable. I will say this though,
Yeah.
the final girl is great, very smart, very like resourceful compared to a lot of the other character, and the few things I liked about it compared to other horror movies of their ilk, the cops for the most part are actually well, you know what? Never mind. I don't want to say that because that might actually lead into spoiler territory. So I would just
Fair enough.
um but I will say a lot of the characters in this movie actually put up a good effort to fight back and or escape for the most part. So I can appreciate
Okay.
that to a degree, but it definitely leads to some like gory over the top kills. The movie is having a laugh at itself because some of this shit is like definitely like cartoony. It's cartoony deaths for sure. Like
Do you think Dead
someone
Meat will
someone
do a kill
getting
count for this one?
oh, I'm hoping they do, but like I don't like one of the deaths is someone getting basically cut in half by a dumpster lid, like they're crawling into the dumpster
Oh,
to get away from the
Jesus.
character and the lid comes down on them and cuts them in half, and I'm like, that's not how dumpster lids work. um so unless that was a very sharp edge of the dumpster, like
Right.
I mean, some of them are pretty rusty and old, so maybe it was. I don't know, but that's still.
Maybe.
If you like the gory over the top slasher movies that are also kind of funny, then you would like this one. And it's also, like I said, it's got social
Oh, yeah,
commentary
no.
on how, like, literally the opening of the movie is a Black Friday massacre, like just from
Jeez.
people trampling the floors and or like people trampling each other on
Yup.
the floor, and like just like horrifying accidents that happen in the process on sharp objects and stuff.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I definitely give it a strong recommend. I say 7.5, maybe an 8 if I was feeling generous, but I think 7.5 is
Is
more
this
accurate.
streaming anywhere right now?
Not at the moment. It's available for digital rental and purchase.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. So you could probably
Okay.
you can rent or buy it on places like Prime Video and such at the moment.
I'm probably watching over my mom's Fire Stick if I get bored.
And so my next thing is a recommendation because I haven't finished the first season yet, but I started about halfway through. I think I started watching this anime on Netflix, of which the name might actually sound familiar. Is Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
How was that?
Well, how is it? Because I'm not done yet. But
How is it? How is it?
well, I'm recommending it, so it's definitely good. And here's the thing. So the very first episode, for the most part, plays out like the movies. And that, or like the movie
Movies?
did.
I
The
didn't-
movie,
wasn't
the movie, the first, just the one.
Okay. I was just saying, I
where
didn't
it
know there was more than one movie.
Where it differs, this story takes a subversive twist, is that Scott actually loses his first fight and ends up being kidnapped, and the story then follows Ramona Flowers as she confronts her 7 evil exes and tries to figure out who took him. So that
Okay.
that is really cool to me, and I think it's kind of in
Hell
line
yeah.
with one of the comics. Also, it's like a super aware, self-aware show. Like, it knows that it's a show. It doesn't follow any rules whatsoever. It's very video gamey, and it's like intentionally all over the place. Basically everyone has superpowers, and like there's one of her exes, when Ramona's fighting one of her exes, they are jumping in and out of different movies as they're fighting because they're in a video store, and
Oh shit.
yeah, it's really interesting. And the cast of the movie reprises all of their roles in the show. All the same people: Michael Cera, Aubrey Plaza, Chris Evans, all of them. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Anna Kendrick,
Okay.
Allison Pill, Kieran Culkin. They're all in it. So uh,
Okay.
all the same people. The voice of oh yeah, and here's the other thing: the show also winks and nods at the movie, as one of the characters is writing a script for a movie based off what happened, but he writes an alternate reality script where Scott wins the fight and goes on to fight the other evil exes, which is a direct reference to the live action movie. Um, and yeah, they get Chris Evans' character to play Scott in the movie. It's pretty funny. I love it. It's definite.
Okay.
It's very anime styled. Like it's very like video game references all over the damn place.
Okay.
Yeah, like characters are making out and there's like one up noises and shit happening.
All
Stuff
right.
stuff like that. It's pretty cool. If you liked the movie, then you will love this show. Is what I'm saying. I think, and I haven't finished it yet, but I'm
Okay.
super into it. I love the animation. I love the story. I love the jokes. I love the breaking the fourth wall that they do. You know, I think Scott
That's
says something
awesome.
in the first episode about like I don't want to get into that right now. Maybe in a later episode or some shit like that. You know.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, so it's a very self-aware show. I love it. So, a strong recommend for me for Netflix's Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. And then, Hey there, everyone. Oversoul here with a bit of a post-recording fact check I have to insert in here a little bit. So I did have three things for my media corner, but the third thing I later found out was not completely accurate. I had thought that the nominees for the 2024 Oscars had been announced, and it turns out that the article I was reading was actually predictions for the nominees. So, not the actual nominees themselves. Those will be announced later in the month, I think on January 23rd. So, I will probably talk about them in a later episode. So, my apologies for that. So, there is no third thing because I was wrong. Okay, well, enjoy the rest of the show. Anyways, that's it for my media corner. One news, one review, one recommendation. Short, sweet, to the point. And now we will, speaking of reviews, take a look back at the year 2023 in review.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
All right, everyone, welcome to this episode's topic 2023 Year in Review. A look back at
Yes.
all of the best media and moments and other what have yous of 2023 that we'd like to discuss and talk about. And
Mm.
we will also talk about what was our favorite movie, favorite TV show, favorite video game, and favorite new music of last year. So, um, well, why don't you start us off? What's the first thing that comes to mind in terms of 2023 that was a new thing
The
that you got to enjoy?
the first thing that comes to mind, I gotta say it was one of the first things that came out in 2023 before HBO Max changed its name to just Max.
Okay.
Yes, while I have not finished this is one of the first things that came out this year, or last year. Wink, wink,
Mm-hmm.
ha ha. Um, The Last of Us.
Oh, yep, for sure.
It was the that was one of the first like premieres in January of 2023.
Yeah, it was a really good show. Pretty accurate portrayal to the big game. Phenomenal
From
casting and everything they added to the
oh
story.
no, from what I have seen of it, it is absolutely phenomenal, and scene for scene, it's the game.
Yep, but with more, which is nice. I like the
Exactly,
expanded lore. I
exactly.
kind of like the show better than the first game, if I'm being honest. But I know that's a hot take because I
That's
also like the
fair.
second game more than the first game, and that's a very unpopular opinion. Um,
That's that. Yeah, okay.
but it's not because the
I'm
second game is
excited to
bad. It's
see.
that certain types of goofy-minded individuals on the internet hate on that game for very specific, stupid reasons. So,
Right. No, I'm excited to see if we get season two this year in 2024.
I mean, it's in production right now, so I doubt it. I'm maybe looking at like next year, maybe 2025 instead.
Yeah,
Um,
we did get hit with that nasty writers and actors strike this in 2023.
so I mean, I get
It put everything to a halt.
cat's already out of the bag here, I guess. But if I had to name my favorite TV show in 2023, it's definitely The Last of Us. Best TV show of 2023 winner, Oversoul seal of approval, right there. It did
Yeah.
win the best
Mm-hmm.
adaptation at the Game Awards too, so.
It absolutely did. It sure did.
But on that note, we also had Twisted Metal and Mario this year, and you watched Gran Turismo.
Yeah, we did.
So those were
Yeah, yeah,
all
sure did.
adaptations. So, um, I,
Yeah. I didn't get very far in the Twisted Metal show. I'm not gonna lie. I did not get very far. I have not finished that one yet. Gran Turismo oh, that was amazing.
so it just sounds like
That was a good,
I.
so
So it
good.
sounds like I gotta watch Gran Turismo. I still gotta watch that, and you got two
Yes.
shows you gotta finish at some point.
Yes, I do.
I'm
Yes,
excited
I
for
do.
where Twisted Metal is going in the future. How season two, that we now know for sure is happening, is going to actually be like the games, like the killing game contest.
Mm-hmm.
Season one is a lot of setup, a lot of build up, but it's going to lead into it, and it's going to be great. So, um,
Oh yeah.
I am excited for that. And we saw the Mario movie in theaters. That was a 2023 thing. Um,
Yeah, we saw that one together too, didn't we?
yes, we did, and then we did a review of it on this very
And
podcast.
immediately after, yeah, immediately after we went back to your old apartment and did a spoiler cast episode.
We sure did.
That was the only episode we recorded together in person,
Yeah, yeah, it
to
was.
my knowledge.
And also,
Was it?
yeah, I believe it was. And also, we both saw in theaters, not together, but separately, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That was last year.
Yes, we did. Yes,
Um,
we sure did.
See, now, best movie is going to be a tough choice for me for last year because you have that, and you
Mm-hmm.
have Saw X, and you have Barbie, and you have
Yup.
Spider-Man
Mm-hmm.
Into the Spider-Verse, which was another
Yup.
phenomenal movie. Um,
So I've heard. I have not watched it yet.
let's see. Well, I'm trying to think too, but before we get too deep into movies, since you talked about The Last of Us and we're on shows like that, Twisted Metal and all that,
Hmm.
trying to think what else came out last year. I think season two of Yellow Jackets was maybe last year. I'm gonna have to fact check that, but
It started in 2022 and ended in 2023.
okay,
Wait,
so
no.
kinda.
It started no, it started in 2023 and is ending in 2024.
No, season two of Yellow Jackets is over.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wait, no. That was so no, it did start in 2022 and then ended in 2023. It's season 3 that is premiering. That's hold on. I need to fact check this. Cuz I was just looking at the IMDb page for it.
It was March of 2023 that the season 2 premiere hit Paramount or Showtime and all that.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so Yellow Jacket season 2 was last year, and I know you're still in
Season.
season 1. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm still in season
but
one. Okay, so season three will start. Will start in 2024.
yep. So most likely, yeah, maybe because of the strike and all that, but
Yeah.
um a lot of things got delayed because of the writer's strike, which was a big thing in 2023, and the actor strike as well. Uh,
Yeah.
big media thing that we covered on this show several times, actually, as it
Yeah.
was ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, season 2 of that pretty fucking stellar television. If you ask me, the Star Wars show
Absolutely.
Ahsoka came out last year. I haven't seen it yet, but I hear really good things.
Neither have
Um,
I.
I'm excited to give it a go eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to quick fire here. We had a couple of Marvel shows. I think we had Secret Invasion, which
Yes.
unfortunately wasn't great. But
We had Loki season two.
beside yes, Loki season 2, which was great though. That is definitely worth mentioning. And on the movie front, besides Guardians, we also had the Marvels and Ant-Man 3.
Yes.
And, out of the three of those, Guardians 3 was definitely the best. Then I would say Marvels, and then Ant-Man was, like, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I will say there is a show that just premiered about a week ago now. Um, as of this recording, um, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and
yup, I heard
I
a few
have.
things about that.
Oh my God, it's so good, so good.
Oh, you've watched it, okay.
Sarah and I have watched all three episodes that are out so far. Yes, it's so good.
Okay.
It is so
Man,
fucking good. Oh my
well, that
God.
totally could have been a Media Corner thing. um,
Yeah, could have, but I wanted to save it
uh,
for the topic
I'll
because,
recommend.
yeah, it was, yeah, I wanted to save it for the topic because it came out this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did talk about Thanksgiving and Scott Pilgrim, which all came out in 2023 as well.
That's fair.
They were just recent watches for me, but that's okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I already talked about those, so I won't go much into them besides what I already did.
Right.
So I'm just trying to think. So I'm trying to decide. Yeah, I think I decided on The Last of Us as my favorite TV show of 2023. What about you? I know you started a few different things. Goosebumps came out last
Yeah,
year.
Goosebumps came out
That
last year.
Chuck from Accounting or whatever it's called.
Chuck from Accounting. I have not finished that one yet. There was another
But like,
show that I just started watching on Hulu. I'm pretty sure they're only on their first season, but it's called Class of '09.
okay.
Hold on.
Oh shit! Remember that show I mentioned in my media corner many episodes ago called School Spirits about the ghost trying to solve her own death in the school?
Yes.
On Paramount Plus. That came out 2023 as well. That
Okay.
was season 1 of that. A
Okay.
high recommend for me from
So
that.
Class of '09, it did. It started in 20 because yeah, it started in 2023 and it's only got 8 episodes out. So they're only on their first season. So it's called Class of '09. It's FBI agents who graduated from Quantico in 2009 are reunited following the death of a mutual friend. Now, what I like about this show, yes, it is a not necessarily a true crime show, but it is crime related. And what I love about this is there's flashbacks to where there's flashbacks to when they were all in the graduating class together, and then there is also parts of this show where it goes into the distant future and shows the future of the FBI almost.
Okay.
It's actually really fucking
That's
cool.
very intriguing. um. Okay. I think I mentioned earlier.
Like I think as far
Yeah.
as they go is
In
I think as far as they go is I think they go into 2035, maybe 2045. I think they go is as far as they've gone. Maybe I could be wrong. I could be
Okay.
very wrong, but that's or maybe 2030. Not this, so that would not be distant future. That would be near future.
Okay.
That would be yeah,
I
that would be near
um. I
future.
met. I mentioned in the last episode for TV shows that season 7 of Big Mouth and season 2 of Human Resources came
Yes.
out in 2023. Um, on Amazon Prime, we had Gen V and
Uh-huh.
the f- the first half of season 2 of Invincible. It's not done yet, but it's there.
Okay.
Um, we had some My Hero Academia continuation, which I have to catch up on, and
Ooh.
I'm trying to think. I'm just digging. Oh, season 7 of Rick and Morty, which no longer has Justin Roiland and is therefore an improvement.
Right. We also had the season 4 part 2 premiere of Manifest on Netflix.
Yeah,
That was really
yeah.
good. Oh, and that
Um,
was that they could not have finished that show any more perfect.
oh, and not one but two South Park specials on Paramount Plus. The
Mm-hmm.
Panderverse and Not Suitable for Children.
Yes.
Uh,
I mean, the show itself is not suitable for
both
children, but
both of
yeah.
which, yes, that's part of the joke. That's part of the joke. You'd have to see the episode to understand, but basically the whole premise of that one. Because I know you've seen the Panderverse one, but I take it you haven't seen the other one
Bits
yet.
and pieces, but yes. Bits and pieces of the
Okay.
Panderverse, but yes.
Oh well, then you got to just watch both of these. But
Yeah, I
the
do.
but you already know the plot of the Panderverse one. We talked about that. But the other one, not suitable
Yeah.
for children, is well, Randy starts an OnlyFans, so there's that.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of cartoon nudity. A lot of cartoon nudity in this one, which they warn you about when you start the special, and
Jesus Christ. Okay.
but what it's mostly about is how influencers are selling these so-called sugar-free energy drinks like Prime to children, and really they're just a bunch of unhealthy garbage.
Fucking Logan Paul.
So they
Fuck
make fun of
Logan
it.
Paul.
They make fun of it with a
Oh
drink
my
called.
god.
They make fun of it with a drink called cred, and if you don't have it, then you ain't got no cred. You know, it's all kind of social commentary on influencer hype and stuff like that, and basically how all of it is just like advertisers trying to sell shit to children. So,
See, okay.
pretty clever episode actually.
No, I believe it. I got a gripe about Logan Paul for just a second. His drink isn't even technically considered an energy drink, is it? Like, that's more of a
they
sports drink.
Well, that's the joke. That's part of what they see. So it's a sports drink, yeah, and they're all talking about it. And there's like some flavors that are super hard to get and all that. But the influencers, when they
Mm.
advertise it, they're like, yeah, it's sugar free and it's got so many A vitamins that your body won't know what to do with them and shit like that. And
I
then
was gonna
like when
say,
you actually look at the ingredients, it's just sugary garbage. It's not. It's nothing like what they say it is. So.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so
No,
they
this is
are directly making fun of Prime. Like it's called Cred, but if you look at the bottle in the cartoon, it's clearly Prime that they're making fun of. Like it's
good. It's
the
about
design.
goddamn time that South Park made Logan Paul one of their victims.
I'm pretty sure that the influencer that Clyde is watching in the episode that is like he's Clyde watches him whenever he feels down about not fitting in, and he's like, "Here's my 10 tips to have a better life, but before that, we have to talk about my sponsor, Cred," and it's like, I'm pretty sure he's meant to be a Logan Paul parody, so...
Oh man, I cannot wait to see this.
Yeah, you're gonna love it,
Oh my
I
God.
think.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna laugh my ass off for this one because if they indeed did make Logan Paul one of their victims as far as being the butt of the joke, I'm going to love every second of it.
they basically do. They go pretty hard on it, honestly. So,
Oh, I can't wait
I
to
think
watch this.
I think it's a much more clever episode than the Panderverse one was, which was also pretty good. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah. Right, right, right,
but yeah,
right.
we had those. So, anyways, back to my now that we've zipped through a bunch of TV shows. My question still remains. I said The Last of Us. So even if you haven't finished it, it's fine. What is your favorite or was your favorite show of 2023? What is the best? What you think was objectively the best?
Ooh.
Either way you want to judge it. It can either be subjectively your
Ooh.
favorite or the one that you think deserves the top rating.
Okay. You know, because there was a lot of really good ones this year.
Yeah.
Because it's fresh on my mind, honestly, I'm gonna have to say Percy Jackson.
Okay. Okay. I mean,
It's it's
I've
it's
heard
only
good
three
things.
episodes. It's only 3 episodes in, but it's so good. It's almost on
Yeah,
Lucifer level. It's on
I pretty
Lucifer
much
level good.
knew I pretty much knew going into this that I was going to end up giving it to The Last of Us probably. Like that was a
Yeah.
no-brainer for me. Very easy.
For me,
But
for me, Percy Jackson and the Olympians is on Lucifer levels of good.
if it
It's
wasn't going to
ugh,
if it wasn't The Last of Us, it would have probably either been like season 2 of Loki, season 2 of Yellow Jackets, or that show School
right.
Spirits. It would have been
Fair
something like
enough.
one of those. Um
Right.
because those were all up there. Special shout out to those ones for sure. Um, so uh, we mentioned a couple of movies. We mentioned the Marvel movies that came out. We mentioned Mario.
Yeah.
A couple of horror movies. Thanksgiving, Saw X.
There were some straight to streaming movies that came out. There was a big one that premiered in November that
Was it Winnie the
I
Pooh, Blood and
absolutely
Honey 2023?
no, I don't think so. That
Pretty sure
was
it was. It went straight to yeah.
maybe.
Yep, it was definitely 2023. I'm looking at the list right here.
Okay.
It's got a
Okay.
2.9 out of 10 on IMDb. It's got
Ouch.
3% on Rotten Tomatoes out of 100. Oh,
That's pretty bad. No, that just let that just
that.
let that speak for itself right there. And just based on what I said about it, yeah, no, it was bad. It was really fucking bad.
But
But
you
I
loved it.
enjoyed it. I loved it. I loved every
Yeah.
second of it.
Ironically or
Honestly,
unironically.
oh dude, ironically and unironically, dude, I fucking loved it.
Fair enough. So bad that it's good. Kind of bullshit, huh?
Yes. Yes.
I think I
But
know. I
no,
think I know what you were gonna say about streaming horror movie. Go ahead. I know what you're gonna
no,
say.
not a horror movie. This was a movie that came out in November,
Oh,
and it was a
oh.
big one this year. And this one was a long anticipated sequel to the Nickelodeon movie Good Burger. I
Oh, yeah, Good Burger
loved
2.
Good
Yeah.
Burger 2. It was so good. I loved
I
it.
still
It
haven't watched
was
this. I still haven't watched this.
dude, dude,
But
you
you know
need to
what?
you
My memory is so vague of the original. All I basically remember is the catchphrases from it. Like,
dude, okay, so they basically The first one is way past the statutes of limitation. So I'm gonna go into it a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. It's like what, a
So
'90s movie?
yes. So do you remember if I say Mondo Burger? Does that ring a bell?
Yes.
Okay. They almost replicate that in this one. You'd have to watch the trailer. You'd have to watch the trailer.
Okay.
Actually, honestly, you wouldn't necessarily need to watch the trailer because
So it's
the
a
trailer
very similar plot to the first movie, is what
very
you're saying?
similar plot, but Ed has kids.
Yeah, that's what these 40-year later sequels to comedy movies do. Like, you remember when Dumb and Dumber did their 40-year sequel, and it was basically the same shit as before. Like, I loved it,
Ed
but it was still the same thing, you know?
Ed has kids, and he's the manager of Good Burger, and Dexter has no kids.
And he's been working there the whole time?
Yeah, sure the fuck has.
Goodness. Well, the horror movie that what I thought you were gonna say was the horror movie Five Nights at Freddy's.
No,
Um,
no. I that they came out in October.
it sure did, yeah, it sure did. Also, I haven't seen it yet, but speaking of like 40-year later sequels, we got this year The Exorcist Believer,
I have not watched that yet either.
which is
But
on Peacock.
it's on my radar. It is on my radar because
Also,
I
apparently
love those movies.
in the Conjuring universe movies, we got The Nun 2. Oh,
Yeah,
but
I
you
have not
also
watched that one either.
there was a new Insidious movie last year that you
Yes,
watched.
Insidious the
I
Red
didn't.
Door. Yes. Insidious, you haven't watched that yet? It's so good.
N-
So
Not
good.
yet. It's still on my list. I've been slowly chipping away at a
Direct
few things here and there.
a direct continuation of the Dalton story.
We also got a sequel to Pet Cemetery called Pet Cemetery Bloodlines.
I that's on my radar too. I have not watched that
It's
one
on
yet. That was
Paramount.
that's a Paramount Plus original too.
We got Scream 6 last year,
Yep, we sure did. That came out in January again,
which
didn't it?
after all the controversy that's happened recently, we probably won't be getting a Scream 7 anymore. The director stepped down, the actors are
Probably
off.
not. Yeah, because
So unfortunate. I forgot
they
that.
I just mm,
Can't get into it too much, but
no,
oh,
nope, can't.
there was another A24 horror movie last year. I haven't seen it yet, but it's got Joaquin Phoenix in it, the Joker. And
Yeah,
it looks like it's a Showtime one, so it's probably on Paramount Plus with Showtime. And
okay.
it is called Beau is Afraid, and it's from it's another A24 movie, but it's from the director behind Midsummer and Hereditary.
I've heard
And
about this.
it says a reserved man who makes regular visits to a therapist to manage his anxiety finds himself challenged when he embarks on a tumultuous and emotional odyssey to get home to his mother. Now, I'm assuming that it's horror in some kind of way since it's A24, but
Yeah, Bo is
they don't do
afraid.
exclusively horror.
No, they
There
don't.
was
I've
also
heard about this.
There was also an M. Night Shyamalan movie last year, which I haven't seen yet, but it's got Dave Bautista in it, called Knock at the Cabin.
Uh, okay. So, Bo is Afraid is on IMDb is listed as dark comedy, psychological drama, psychological horror, quest comedy, drama horror.
Yeah, that sounds about right for A24. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Knock at the Cabin? With being a Dave Bautista fan, I figured this one would be on your radar at least.
I it was on my radar for sure because they definitely plugged it at one of the pay-per-views for the WWE this year. I don't remember which one,
Nice.
but they definitely plugged it more than once during that pay-per-view.
I heard this one was kind of, one of the better M Night movies. One of the good ones, the decent
Knock at the
ones.
Cabin, you said?
Yeah, yeah.
Is this
It's got a 6 out of 10 on IMDb, so that's not bad. I mean, that's on the low side of good, but that's still good.
yeah, I'm looking to see here because it says it's streaming on Prime.
But outside of horror stuff, there was a pretty decent amount of horror stuff last year. But outside of that, we've also had some great. I haven't seen Oppenheimer yet, but I will be watching it here soon. But
Yeah.
Barbie was a big one last
Yeah,
year.
mm-hmm.
I don't know many people who watched that who didn't like it. Honestly,
Oh, I loved it.
um,
I loved it.
what? So, what's your top movie of 2023 out of the ones that you've
Mm,
seen? You saw. I know you saw you saw Scream
hmm.
6, you saw Guardians, you saw Barbie, you saw Mario, you saw
Dude, I
Gran
watched a
Turismo,
lot of
um,
movies this year.
Saw X, Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you
There
watched
was,
maybe more movies than I did. I think I hit more
dude.
games and TV shows
Yeah,
on
no,
my end.
I consumed a lot of media this year. Um,
Yeah, that's what this podcast kind of
shit.
encourages it.
Right, dude. I don't even know. If I had to
You got to
pick,
pick one.
if I
Yeah,
had to pick one, I would have to say Saw X.
really. I thought for
Yeah.
sure you were gonna say Guardians Volume 3.
No, I don't get me wrong. I loved Guardians 3, but Saw X hit different with how they did it this time around. I'm hoping they keep the same formula for Saw 11.
Okay. So,
I like
I
the
get. I'm
way
def. I think. Oh, yep. Keep going.
that they showed what the people did to get put into the traps in
True. Yeah.
real time, basically leading up to the trap scenes. And the fact that this movie basically turned the franchise's antagonist into the protagonist. That was the coolest part for me.
I Yeah, and I like that the characters in that actually, or the villains in that, the people in the traps actually have done something like undebatably evil.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not
absolutely.
uh like James said in his kill count for it. It's not like they were like, because he said there was people in the old movies that he put in traps for like abusing antidepressants and stupid shit like that. But these people actually,
No, this was
yeah.
these they crossed the wrong person is what they did. They had a death wish when they crossed John Kramer.
All right. So my top movie of 2023, I think, is gonna have to be uh, Across the Spider Verse, the Spider Verse Part Two movie.
Okay.
Well, it's Spider Verse 2 Part 1 technically, because it's a to be continued
Okay.
type. It's a first half of a 2-part movie, and I think we're getting the next. I don't know when we're getting the next part, to be sure, but it it's still really good. Like, no pun intended, but like miles beyond the first one. You know, like if the first movie was a 9 out of 10, this one is a 10 out of 10 for sure. Uh,
Damn.
no,
Okay, I definitely need to watch this then.
no argument to be had. I think I might have gave it a 9 earlier in the year, but after watching it a couple more times, I've bumped that up now. No, it's I can. I think before
That's high praise.
before part of what was holding me back was that it's technically incomplete because it's only half of the story because it's a like the
Right.
Harry Potter thing, part one, part two, that they or Hunger
Yep.
Games thing they did. So, but
Hmm.
you know what though, it's fine because it still stands on its own as a self-contained story as well. It just gives you more to look forward
Right.
to in the future. So that's easily
Exactly.
my favorite movie. Now I want to squeeze in video games real quick. I think it's no, a lot of people already know. Some people who are listening to this, what my top 10 games of 2023 were, um, and
Yes.
what my top game of the year was. And congratulations to you for being one of the first place winners in that
Yes.
contest. By the way,
Dude. Okay, so me and Sarah both tied for first.
yeah,
I'm excited for this. I am excited to get my hands on Spider-Man 2 finally. Dude, I don't think like I've been playing like when I got bored and couldn't think of anything else to do, I would hop on the Spider-Man Miles Morales game just to refamiliarize myself with the game mechanics because I know once I get my hands on Spider-Man 2, they're going to be practically the same mechanics. Just there's going to be more to do since you're switching between Miles and Peter Parker.
Same mechanics, but also vastly improved too.
Oh, I'm so excited. And the web wings, that's going to be something fun.
Um, but yeah, just I mean, obvious. I played so many games last year: Resident Evil 4 remake, Dead Space remake, Final Fantasy 16, Theatrium, Final Bar Line. But only so many of them made my top 10 list. A couple of indie darlings that I want to give some shout outs to. Like, not all of them made my top 10, but they all deserve recognition. Sea of Stars, Chia, Goodbye Volcano High, Thirsty Suitors, Venba.
Thirsty Suitors was was a shock for me. I did not see that one on your list. I thought it was Chia. I thought it was going to be Chia. Not even going to
Chia,
lie.
it was honestly, it was going to be between those two at one point or another, honestly.
Gotcha.
And I
Okay.
think eventually I just settled on Thirsty Suitors because it's more appealing to me mechanically, you know.
Fair enough.
Turn
That makes sense.
turn-based RPG, Scott Pilgrim style story,
Makes sense. The animation in that one almost reminds me of Fortnite.
yeah, cartoony graphics. It's a lot more minimalist than Fortnite though. Um
Yeah.
there's like sharper, well, I don't want to say sharper edges, but it's more cell shaded, I guess I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fortnite is kind of I don't want to say claymation-y, but you kind of get like the feeling that you're
Yeah.
playing with action figures, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
know,
no, that makes sense. That
um,
tracks.
that's a big 2023 thing. You got into Fortnite in just in time for the
I
Eminem
did.
for the Eminem event. So,
And I got murked by Slim Shady.
and Fortnite added racing and Lego shit and music stuff.
Oh my
So
god.
it's like
Yes, that was so much fun.
it's not just a battle royale anymore. Now it's got all kinds of stuff in it. It's like literally 4 games in one at this point for free.
No, there was a game that came out in February of 2023 that just so happened to win PS4 Game of the Year during the PlayStation blogs game awards and that just so happens to be Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh yeah, it did, didn't it? And Spider-Man 2 got the
It
PS5 for it.
did. It did. And I went through and looked at the winners for that. I'm like, oh, Hogwarts Legacy won something?
Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you. As
Uh
a Harry Potter fan, I can appreciate that. I knew Spider-Man 2 was gonna win something or another having to do with Game of the Year and one of the companies. I'm just glad it was PlayStation.
Yeah, it would be there. Yeah, it may not have won anything at the official Game Awards, but it did win a little something in the PlayStation side ones. So that's nice.
It sure did. Yeah,
Um
no, that I was that made me happy.
but I mean, I was definitely happy to see, Alan Wake 2 get a lot of love at the Game Awards, but also
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
another big, I don't want to necessarily call it an indie game because it is published by Bethesda and developed by Tango Gameworks, the companies behind The Evil Within, and but Hi-Fi Rush was shadow
Hmm.
dropped on Game Pass the same day it was announced earlier in the year. And that was a big surprise.
Hmm.
That one was pretty good.
Right.
Um I will say, like, 2023 is considered like one of the best years for video games since 2018. Like, unanimously,
Jeez.
everyone pretty much
Okay.
feels that way. But what's funny about that is, even as true as that is, there was also an assload of stinkers this year and disappointing games too. Like,
Gollum.
yeah, Gollum was bad. That King Kong, the King Kong game was bad. Redfall was bad. There was a game that was called like the Days of Tomorrow or something like that that basically ended up being a scam. It was out for one day and that got immediately delisted. Um,
Mm.
uh,
Jeez.
and then I don't want to say Starfield was bad, but it's definitely a little disappointing. Uh,
It underdelivered.
it underdelivered, yeah. Um,
It was like No Man's Sky.
in its
Maybe.
in its
Maybe.
youth, yeah, but No Man's Sky is now like really good after all the
Yeah, no,
updates.
that's what I meant. I'm hoping that Starfield gets to that point because I eventually do want to get a Series S Xbox to use as a Game Pass machine.
That's the best way to do it. They do got some solid shit on offer there, and yeah,
Yeah.
they put out a lot of new indie games. Amnesia: The Bunker was on there, and God, I love
Hmm.
that one more than I thought I would. Honestly, like
Right.
if I had just watched the trailer and gameplay vids for that, and it wasn't on Game Pass, I probably wouldn't have bought it right away. I probably would have waited for a sale, but I'm so glad I wasn't hesitant with it being on Game Pass and all because I ended up loving it way more than I thought I would. It was in my top 5 for fuck's sake. Um, and yeah, and if you want a
There
game that'll make you cry, Goodbye Volcano High is the one. And then the DLC for God of War
there's an
Ragnarok came out for free, Valhalla, this year
hmm
too.
I said there's another game that came out the day of the Game Awards that I really want to get my hands on.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
and we talked a little bit about it. I definitely talked about it during our Summer Game Fest episode for sure. But because that's when it was announced.
Yeah,
But
at the
I,
Ubisoft thing.
yes, I am excited to get my hands on Avatar Frontiers of Pandora.
Yeah, yeah.
I am
Avatar Far
really
Cry.
hoping,
Avatar
right,
Cry.
Avatar with a Far Cry with an Avatar skin is I think what you said in the last one that we
Yes,
talked. I think
definitely. No, seriously, look up gameplay of Far Cry and compare it. I guarantee you'll see what I'm talking about. Not the original Far
fair.
Cry. Anything 3 and above, you know.
Okay, okay. I'll have to look into it. I think I can agree with you based on what I saw for the was it the one that oh shit. I remember seeing something about Far Cry 4 during one of the video game events that you and I watched back in 2014, I think.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Dude, remember when we went to the E3 thing in that movie theater? I
Yeah,
think
I
that's
went
when
to
they
several of
talked about
those.
Far Cry 4. I know I
Yeah,
went to
that's
the
when
one with you and
PlayStation
Harry.
used to yeah, PlayStation used to air them. on there. But that's another thing that happened in 2023. E3 was announced to officially be done and over. We now only have Summer Game Fest in that time.
Damn. All right. Thank you, Jeff
That was a
Keighley,
big thing.
for thank you, Jeff Keighley, for keeping the game events going.
Yes, yeah. Without him, we wouldn't have any of that stuff. I mean, he travels all the way to Germany to do Gamescom in August as well.
Right.
So,
Mhm.
so there's that.
Yeah.
every year we will continue to have dedicated episodes covering those major events, Summer Game Fest, Gamescom,
Yes. Yes.
Game Awards.
I look forward to Summer Game Fest and Gamescom this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so I
And then the Game Awards in December.
so people who know already, but obviously my favorite game of 2023 was Alan Wake 2, and it was
Alan Wake 2. Yes.
yeah. Now before that game came out, for the longest time my game of the year was Final Fantasy 16. And then Alan Wake 2 and Spider-Man 2 came out pretty much back to back, and they were fighting for the top spot after that.
I have to giggle because Sarah, when Sarah and I were watching the premiere of your top 10 announcement video, uh, for like your top 10, where you were not announcing the winners but announcing the games that were on your top 10.
Yeah.
um she was playing devil's advocate a little bit. It's like, it's down to two. What if his game of the year is Spider-Man 2? I'm like, I swear to God.
Some people did
That
guess
will
that,
make
and
it. Oh, I know. I'm like,
that would
that's
have
what
broken
would
it.
break. It would have because
That would have been a
it's the game
major
of the year
upset.
that. Oh,
Yeah.
I absolutely would have been. Absolutely would have
No, no, no,
been.
no, 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 no. I'm talking in sports terms. That would have been a major upset in terms of points difference. Like,
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely.
oh,
No,
yeah. And
because you need the
if you
game of
had
the year correct to get the
the
10
bonus
extra
points,
bonus points.
and if you had
I think me
incorrectly
and Sarah got a total of 19 together.
if you had incorrectly guessed game of the
19
year, you would
points.
have lost to two people who got 7 right each. So
Damn. Okay. All right.
that was another I had, speaking of upsets, I had one literally the night before that video premiered. Two people went in and edited their comments and changed some of their answers after looking at the premiere thumbnail. And what
Uh-huh.
happened was it went from way too many people tying for second place with 16 points to two people tying for second place with 17 points and bumping all the 16ers down to third place. Um
Damn.
and
Okay.
bumping all of the 15 pointers out of third place and out of the contest completely. Like,
Damn.
yeah, yeah, rough for them. Because there was definitely a few, but
Jeez.
I'm a little bit relieved because like, second place is all $20 gift cards, and there are like 7 or 8 people on there. So,
I still think, like, when I was watching your like nominee video, I I when working security really paid off for that, because we're working security, you
you
really have to pay
overthought
attention to
you
detail.
overthought that video. There was no hidden meaning in my hand gestures and shit. There definitely wasn't.
Oh, I could have sworn you were doing that as a hand gesture for like
No, I just
basically hinting that Spider-Man was on your list.
I just talk anime. I just talk animated. Those hand gestures were purely coincidental. I wasn't doing them consciously. It's just automatic.
Oh, fair.
Um,
That's fair.
yeah, no, it was all in the hints, and then of course the other um secret hints that I threw out on social media throughout the following weeks and stuff, which
Yes.
I do every year.
Mm-hmm.
I put the main hints in the video enough that gives people, enough to go off of that it's fair. But then, like, those who do the extra work to dig a little bit deeper do get, are possibly rewarded for it. Not a guarantee, but still, you know.
No,
Um,
I did some, I think I didn't have to do too much digging. I mean, you pretty much made it very clear as to what was on your list. It was just that one that got past me.
uh, I didn't.
I
I didn't.
never saw Thirsty Suitors.
I definitely didn't try to make it clear. That's for sure.
That's fair. No,
I
that's
mean,
fair.
several of my hints were like curated towards multiple things. It could have been anything.
Right. Yeah.
But I also put my.
And when you put up the
I also put up my. What do you call it? The PlayStation wrap up. Like publicly, and people saw like which games had the
yeah.
most hours in them, so kind of used that as a thing too.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
It wasn't; they weren't all on my list, but a few of them definitely were. So,
Right.
but yeah, I had to give it to Alan Wake 2
Ugh.
for my game of the year. It was very,
You were very transparent about that. Like
yeah,
there was no secret that Alan Wake 2 was your game of the year. You gave that one more praise than any other game that I've heard you talk about this year.
yeah, for sure, yeah. Pretty much everyone got that one right.
All because of the old gods of Asgard
They are
and
a
that musical number in the middle of the game.
they are a big part of it, but not the only part of it. That is,
Oh,
however,
trust me, I know.
a good segue into our next thing. But before I get there, I need to ask you what your top game of last year was, out of the ones that you've played or tried. You don't have to have even finished it. It's just if it really drawed you in, drew you in.
I You're talking games that came out this year.
Yes, yeah. I know that some of them you may have dabbled in, but others you actually played.
Okay. Um, let's see. Cause I want to say, hold on.
You told me
Let
the
me
other day
pull up my
you
hint.
started what was it? Sea of Stars, I think, or you downloaded it. I can't.
Yes, I dabbled in it. I
Okay.
dabbled in it, but I did also try Chia
Okay.
for a little bit. I tried Chia. I liked it. It was decent
Have you gotten
from what I have.
uh have you gotten far enough to spirit jump into things yet though?
No, I have not.
Okay, yeah, that's the part where it really opens up for you.
Okay.
Yeah, once you get there, it'll become a
Let's
lot more fun.
see. I did try the open demo for the Crew Motorfest. I liked that.
Yeah, you also played some of the demo for Final Fantasy 16. Said
I did.
you liked
I
what you
did,
saw
and
so far.
I do eventually want to get my own copy of Final Fantasy 16 and play that.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and guess that your game of the year was Hogwarts Legacy.
Uh, um Yes, I am a huge Harry Potter fan, but I wouldn't necessarily say Hogwarts Legacy was my game of the year. Um,
Ooh, okay.
I it much like what Ryan and Spencer were talking about. The length of the game shouldn't determine the value or cost of the game, more so the fact that you enjoy it. Yes, I enjoyed playing Hogwarts Legacy, but it's a 40-hour game. Yes, while I do understand that each house has an exclusive mission to it, that's the only difference for each house. Everything else is the same. And again, it's a 40-hour game. It's a long game, and I
Well,
can't see
being
myself replaying it.
oh yeah, replaying. I was gonna say being long isn't necessarily a bad thing though. Like God of War is
No,
long,
it wasn't a
you
bad
know.
thing. It wasn't a bad thing. I just can't see myself going back and replaying it and enjoying it the
Yeah,
same way I did the first time I played through it.
yeah.
That's
It's a
one of those times where I wish I could go back and experience it for the first time again. Kind of a callback to one of the episodes that
yeah,
we did earlier in 2023.
yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I although to be fair, a lot of the games that have been my game of the year, I don't necessarily go back and replay them. Like I haven't gone back and replayed the first God of War, but that's still
That's fair.
pretty high in my
I
memory banks. Not all of them have to be replayable as long as I enjoyed the experience. Alan Wake 2, however, I find very replayable, and obviously with New Game
it
Plus, there's a reason.
if I'm being honest, I'm probably preemptively naming Spider-Man 2 my game of the year
I wouldn't blame you for
for
that, honestly.
2023. I'm not even lying. I'm like, I enjoy the mechanics. I love Insomniac games, and I am excited for the lineup that they have coming out for superhero games.
You know what? I'll give it to you. But well, as you mentioned, one of my favorite things about Alan Wake 2 was its soundtrack, not just the old gods, but the fucking whole soundtrack in general is pretty solid. But that
Right.
takes me to music, which like always, I didn't really consume a whole lot of new music this year, but I know that there was some. Um,
Right.
there was not any new
Uh,
Gorillaz songs this year. Kind of a new thing. It's been a while since they've taken a break like that.
now,
So for me, it's basically the old gods of Asgard. It was the big thing for me this year, music
right.
wise. But I'm sure you
Now,
listen to a lot of stuff. What was the new music for you?
so I've talked about this guy on the podcast before. The full album isn't coming out until February, but there's a new James Durbin song out and it's the title track of the album, and it's called Screaming Steel by Durbin. And oh my god, it's so good. That and this ties in with music because recently CM Punk came back to the WWE, and everybody knew it was going to happen, but it was really confirmed when Living Color did a remastered 2023 version of his theme song Cult of Personality.
Okay.
Yeah, that one was really cool. Let's
Um,
see.
didn't the
There's
Miley Cyrus song "Flowers" come out last year?
that came out in 2022 because I was still
Did it?
wait,
The
no,
list I'm
I
looking at here says 23.
I could be wrong, but there's a couple of songs that came out that they didn't come out this year, but I was introduced to this year. Um, and I know I'm not I'm sure Asher is listening, so she'll appreciate that I mentioned these. This one came out in 2021. It's Insane by Black Griffin and Bassick from the animated series. I think oh shit, I forget what it's called. But there is another one that she introduced me to called Happy Face by Jaguar Twin. However, there is a song that came out this year. It's a cover by Falling in Reverse. It is a cover of Papa Roach's Last Resort, and this is a reimagined version of the song.
Okay.
We also got the song Skull and Bones by Home Free that was they did a live performance. I think they did that at was it Summer Game Fest or Gamescom?
Oh yeah, that's right. Forgot about
I'm
that.
looking at my recent downloads in my Apple Music and I'm like, let's see what let's see what I can find.
Um.
Tenacious D did like a little like short song titled Video Games.
Okay, so I think we should probably give a shout out to Jack Black's performance of Peaches from the Mario movie. Then,
Peaches, 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 peaches. Yes.
and I also want to give a shout
Yes.
out to the Ryan Gosling song "I'm Just Ken" from the Barbie movie, and
Mm-hmm.
the Pete Davidson version from SNL as well. Yeah,
Okay.
I like
All
that.
right.
That was in the
Yeah.
episode I showed you when you were over here. They're like, "I'm just
Mm-hmm.
Pete." Na, na, na. Yeah, it was great. Um,
Hell yeah.
special shout out to one of the YouTube artists that I listen to, the Stupendium, who does songs about video games and stuff. He actually
Mm-hmm.
did something new last year. He did a song. He got a bunch of different artists together, and they did a song called "The Muppet Cipher," where they each did like one line as
Ooh.
a different Muppet, and they like from the Jim Henson Muppets, Kermit and all them,
Nice.
and there were some pretty like spot on impressions and some pretty good well written lyrics and stuff, and that like it was really fun.
Okay.
um I give it a huge shout out. But yeah, I'm not sure if I really consumed a whole lot of new music last year. I know I found a couple of songs that I was bumping. Wait a minute, I think the Gorillaz song Silent Running did come out in 2023. Yeah. Yeah, because I
Uh,
remember last year I went, or when we did our year in review 2022 episode, I wanted to say that was my favorite song, but then I realized it came out in 2023, so I couldn't, so I had to give it to a different song instead, and I think I gave it to, uh, shit, I can't remember what I gave it to now, actually. So, Silent Running, yeah, it came out earlier in 2023, like really early, because
okay.
I was still working at the school when it came out. Because
Gotcha.
I remember
All
listening
right.
to it a lot working there. So my top song for 2023 would be a strong competition between Silent Running by the Gorillaz and Herald of Darkness by the Old Gods of Asgard. Uh,
No surprise there.
yeah, yeah. Boy, they both are songs that I listen to on repeat a lot. So it's
Oh
kind
my
of a
God, dude. I'll have to say I'll have to agree with you on that the Herald of Darkness though. I'll have to agree with you on that.
You're saying that's your top song of the year?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that it's my top, but I would have to say that it's really good.
Okay,
Now, my
what's your
favorite
top song of the year?
ooh,
Top
um
new song.
top new song. I'm gonna be biased a little bit. Yes, I've only listened to it a couple times, but Screaming Steel by Durbin.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes, it came out this year, but the full album isn't dropping until February 16th.
I I spend most of my time listening to like that 24/7 live stream on Game Chops where they do the lo-fi remixes of video game music. So
There you
that's
go.
I mean when I did my Spotify rap, that's what I listened to the most on there apparently. Oh, you know what though? Your favorite
Hmm.
Martian, who made a comeback in 2022, continued to put out more new songs throughout 2023 and are continuing to do so to this day. Like they're
Nice.
their comeback has lasted over a year at this point, and they are continuing to keep going. So they're doing all right.
That's good to know. That's awesome.
Oh.
I'm glad Ray William Johnson finally was able to get the rights back to his project that he had all those years ago.
Yes, I agree, and I'm actually looking at my Spotify right now to see what some of the new stuff was I added this year. Mostly your
Mm,
favorite Martian and Old Gods. It looks like. Yeah,
okay.
and some gorillas in there.
Okay.
So yeah, that was shit. That was basically most of it. There were a couple, not many, but a couple new songs from Epic Rap Battles of History uh,
Now,
last year. I
uh,
want to say the most recent one they did was Henry Ford versus Karl Marx,
mhm,
um, which is a really like one that people have been asking for a long time. So it's about time they
mhm.
got around to that. But my favorite, oh yeah, no, that's actually the only one they did this year because the last one that they did before that was Laura Croft versus Indiana Jones, and that was last December. So they only got one
I
out
will
this year.
say there's a solo artist that had branched off from his country duo. He's one half of Florida Georgia Line, uh, and I would have never thought to look for him until Sarah went to the Iowa State Fair to see this guy. And I'm like, why does this dude sound like Florida Georgia Line? Then I look at the two members of Florida Georgia Line. I'm like, oh, that's Tyler Hubbard. But she went to the Iowa State Fair this year and got to see Tyler Hubbard live, and there was a couple songs that really stood out, that I really enjoyed. Me for Me by Tyler Hubbard was really good. I'm the Only One, She Can, and By the Way are the ones that really stood out to me. Um, yeah, that was fun.
All right. Well, okay, so before we wrap up this topic, now let's talk about anything that is not a, movie, show, song, or video game. So podcast, stand-up comedy, any other YouTube channels, um, stuff like that
Yeah,
that
I did listen.
that came out this year.
I did start listening to a few different podcasts this year. Um, I started listening to Fortress of Nerditude earlier in the year. Uh, I think I started with the movies based on toys episode.
Okay, good starting point.
Yeah, I started listening to, while this one didn't start in 2023, these guys do have a podcast that did start this year. So I'm gonna mention that along with the other two that I started listening to by these guys, James Petricalo and Jimmy Wisman, uh, of Small Town Murder, Crime and Sports, and their new podcast. It's still new. It's still going. It's called Your Stupid Opinions, and it is fucking hilarious.
Nice, good title.
It is fantastic, and I will have to say, this last episode that they did, I don't know when they record, but this episode dropped on Christmas Day. So
Oh,
naturally
nice.
they had to they put in some like Christmas related. They did reviews of the original 1990 Home Alone movie, and Sarah brought it to my attention. Like after she listened to our Christmas special episode, she listened to this episode of Your Stupid Opinions, and hearing how we talked about Die Hard, and then turning around and hearing James Petrocello go on a mini rant about how Die Hard is a Christmas movie because he's literally going to see his daughter on Christmas, and it is a Christmas party in the building, and I'm like, but it doesn't follow the traditional Christmas movie formula.
Yeah, in a lot of ways it could. I imagine I irritated a lot
But
of people
it's
by saying that that's not a Christmas movie, but Gremlins is. And I don't care.
right, right, dude. No, it's Your Stupid Opinions is it's they started doing this thing because they started like the funniest reviews that they have done are for all like the personal items. And one of the personal items that had me absolutely, had I not been at work, I would have been rolling on the floor laughing my ass off. Because I'm not gonna do that on the
Okay.
on the on the floor of a dirty trailer at work. No, I'm not gonna. No, I already get dirty enough at work as it is
Okay.
because of the dust that comes off the boxes. But the one personal item that they talked about and they did review they read reviews on was the it was a butt plug from Adam and Eve, but this butt plug also had a foxtail attached to it. And the
Oh,
reviews
okay.
on this thing were fucking hilarious. Oh my goodness.
So I started listening to Markiplier's Distractable and Dead Meat podcast and the Dead Meat podcast last year, but neither of those
Mm,
are new. They've been going for a while, but that's when I started them.
gotcha,
Um,
okay.
but but there was a companion podcast to the Last of Us show as it was airing every time a new
I
episode came
did.
out. After it aired, they would have a new episode of the podcast talking about it with the people involved in the show.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was kind of like, like how episodes of The Walking Dead after them, they would have Chris Hardwick's The Talking Dead, and it would be like a talk
Mm-hmm.
show with the cast of the show
Yep.
and stuff. It's kind of like that, but in podcast form.
They did something similar with that with after each episode of because this was another show that had a third season this year that Sarah and I watched together. Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, there's a companion podcast for that?
I believe so. I could be wrong, but I know that there was an like a behind the scenes like short episode, almost like The Talking Dead, after each episode.
Okay. Okay. Um, let's see. I think you mentioned stand up earlier, and there
Yes.
was one major stand up that I watched this year, John Mulaney Baby J that I really liked.
Okay.
But I also and the Chris Rock one. There was a new Chris Rock one that came out
Yes,
like
there
way early in the year
was.
that I
That
watched.
there was a few new
That was good
stand-ups that I
too.
watched this year. I watched the new Carlos Mencia. I watched the new Kevin Hart after watching Renfield.
Renfield, I forgot about that.
Uh
Yeah.
yeah, that was another good one.
That
And
was a
then
good one, yeah.
there was and Matt Rife he's been making his rounds on TikTok. But he finally got his first Netflix special, and what he was best at in his like when he goes on tour is crowd work. He does amazing crowd work. Now in his Netflix special, he doesn't do any of that, which was disappointing actually, because that's the whole reason anybody really like. Yeah, he's a pretty boy, but the whole reason anybody goes out to see Matt Rife is because of his amazing crowd work.
Okay.
Yeah. If you get a chance, look him up. He's got some free specials on YouTube. And his crowd work is fucking hilarious.
Okay. Um.
Yeah.
So, any other type of like any YouTubers or TikTokers that like kind of blew up this year or anything like that? I've got one, a comedian named
No.
Stanzy, who she's pretty fucking funny. Honestly, I her jokes
Yeah.
are right up my alley of social commentary, like 100%.
Okay. No, but there was a major life event that happened for me this year.
Okay.
I met Sarah.
Well, yeah, yeah, there is that. That's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had
Met
major
her and we
major
got
life
to
events kind of go in the opposite direction of like
yeah.
yeah, moving apartments and
I've had a
such.
lot happen this year, but we're not going to get into all that.
Right, right. Um,
It's a little bit too personal for the pod.
I will say, I can't do an episode like this without giving a brief, um, without giving a brief in memoriam to the great celebrities that we lost over the year of 2023.
Yes, Bray
Um,
Wyatt. Let's see who else. Matthew Perry,
Andre, yeah,
Andre
Andre
Brower.
Brower, yeah,
Who else did we
Ryan
lose this
O'Neal,
year? Ryan O'Neal. Okay, shit.
yes,
Didn't no that was
Frank Howard,
yep. Oh, Smash Mouth.
yeah, yeah, Steve Harwell,
Steve Harwell. Yep.
Bob Barker,
Yep. Bob
um,
Barker.
Michael Gambon
Mm-hmm.
from the Harry Potter stuff, one of the Dumbledores,
Yep. Yep.
Tony
Michael
Bennett,
Gambon.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Tony Bennett, Sinead O'Connor,
Sinead O'Connor.
yeah, yep,
Who else?
Tina Turner,
Mm-hmm. Now,
Jerry
I know he's
Springer.
not a no, he's not a celebrity, but I'd be amiss if we didn't mention my pal Chewy. He was a loyal listener of the podcast.
Absolutely. Um, Prolific voice actor Lance Reddick. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we lost him.
Kevin
Tom
Conroy,
Sizemore. Yes, Kevin Conroy.
Batman.
Uh, Tom Sizemore. Terry Holland.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um, David Crosby. There was
Mm-hmm.
quite a
Shit, we
few.
lost a lot of people this year.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate, but
There
thankfully
was another
a lot of great
wrestler
ones
that
still with us.
died alongside in the same week as Bray Wyatt, Terry Funk. He was an older wrestler, but he was known more in the like the early times of WWE.
Okay.
But they WWE did a whole tribute episode on the fly when everything happened, when Bray Wyatt passed, when Terry Funk passed. They scrapped an entire episode of Friday Night SmackDown, with storyline in play, that they just completely scrapped and threw together a 2 hour tribute show on the fly. And I could not have been more happy with the way they paid tribute to Bray Wyatt. I didn't know Terry. I didn't know Terry Funk all that well. I never saw any of his matches to my knowledge. But Bray Wyatt, that was a rough one. That was a very rough one for me.
You know, now that I think about it, another reason I think that you should, start like watching the Dead Meat kill counts more regularly is
Uh,
James is a huge wrestling fan, and there's a lot
oh,
of wrestling references in some of his videos. Yeah.
bet. Okay.
In fact, it's a WWE Championship belt replica that he gives whenever there's a new kill count champion, like a movie that gets the highest number of kills or whatever.
Okay, that's
He
awesome. That's
gives
pretty
them that
cool.
kind of thing. Yeah. So,
That's pretty cool.
right now the number is like extremely high, so I don't know if anything is going to outdo it. But he was mad
Okay.
because for the longest time, what one of the other people on his team, Zoran, that sometimes hosts some of the weird B movie kill counts and stuff, and takes over for
Uh-huh.
for James when he's got personal stuff going on. He did a movie
Uh-huh.
called Dude Bro Party Massacre 3 that had like 40 some thousand kills in it. And
Jesus Christ.
he was mad because it was the new kill count championship for a while. But when the writer's strike and actor's strike happened, and they had to start doing kill counts for weird shit because they couldn't do kill counts for movies that were struck, so they did like video games like Mortal Kombat and Danganronpa instead, and they did like
Uh-huh.
Hug Me I'm Scared and Too Many Cooks and shit
Okay.
like that instead.
Too
Um,
many cooks.
yeah, yeah, that was great. So they did what was it? Oh, a fan film based off the Team Fortress game, Team Fortress 2 on Steam.
Okay.
Um that had like I don't like 100,000 kills in it or something at one point, and he's like, "Now this is the new kill count champion," and everyone feels like he did that just so that he could have a new kill count champion.
Mm-hmm.
Did that thing. So I think that's kind of funny. But the writer's
Yeah,
strike
that's pretty
gave
cool.
gave him an excuse to reclaim his belt, um,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
for that. So, the last thing I want to do here is I want to look forward into the future and talk about the things that we are
Yeah.
most anticipated for 2024. Anything that we know for sure has a release date, can be movies, video games, TV shows, whatever. Anything you know is coming out this year for sure.
I'd have to
Um,
say my most anticipated movie for this year, hands down, has to be uh Deadpool 3. Let's get that
oh
out
yeah,
of the way.
easily. We're probably gonna have to like schedule a viewing for that,
Yeah, no,
and
absolutely
then
we will.
and then
Um,
immediately do a viewing and reviewing.
hmm And then there's a show coming out on January 11th that I'm really looking forward to. Oh, Ted. Yes, I'm
Oh,
looking forward to the Ted
that
show
comes
on
out
Peacock.
January.
That comes out January 11th. Here in a couple of days. Here in a few days.
Yeah, the Seth MacFarlane joint based on the
Yes,
movies.
I am so excited for this.
I think this is about when John was a kid.
Yeah, it was
If
when
I looking
when
at
he
it,
was like in high school, I think, maybe middle school, because they had a
so we got like
poster with
a
Ted sitting in a locker, and John standing next to Ted, poking out of the locker.
Okay, so this is like
Like they were standing
a
in a
young young
in a
Sheldon
yeah,
situation.
almost yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay, but with Seth
That'll be
MacFarlane
fun.
humor.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm excited.
yeah.
I'm here
Okay,
for it.
I'm definitely looking forward to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in February. That's probably my most anticipated game of next year so far. Of
Right.
2024. I know you're looking
Uh
forward to Prince of Persia game.
Prince of Persia, yep. Um oh, I can't say that there's too many things that I'm like too many video games that I'm super excited for this year. I know there's one coming out next year that I'm excited for, but we'll talk about that at a later time once we know more about it.
Yeah. Let's
Oh,
see. I
GTA
know
6.
Dragon's Dogma 2 comes out in March, but I don't know much past that in terms of release dates for next year. I do know that
Isn't
some
the new
games
Fable
are
game coming out
planned.
this year?
I don't think so. Maybe. I just know some games don't have a release day, but they do have a tentative window for 2024,
Hmm.
and
Right.
those are games like Star Wars Outlaws, the
Yep.
Ubisoft one,
Okay, I'd have to say
Hellblade,
that's my most
Hellblade 2.
anticipated game for this year is
Okay.
Star Wars
Okay.
Outlaws because it's by
Um yeah,
Ubisoft and it has almost this. I'm guessing it'll have the same like um. It maybe have some of the same stealth mechanics as Assassin's Creed based on the gameplay trailer that we saw. I could be wrong.
I'm
Just
just
in a
kind of doing
sci-fi
like a quick
just
rundown
in
here.
just in a sci-fi setting.
It looks like Tekken 8 comes out in January. Suicide Squad game comes out in February.
Uh,
Um, Along with the Banisher's Ghost of New Eden, which I'm looking forward to as
okay.
well, and Final Fantasy. But Final Fantasy 7 comes out on February 29th, so that's basically March at that
Yeah,
point.
basically.
Um, the Alone in the Dark remake comes out in March, along with Dragon's Dogma 2 and the Princess Peach game for the Switch.
Yes.
Um, let's see. Black Myth Wukong comes out in August, and let's see. A lot of that's pretty much everything with a announced release date, and then there's a whole bunch of games that are supposed to come out next year but don't have an actual release date yet. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, but for the ones that do, and yeah, Deadpool 3 is my most anticipated movie. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know about TV show yet. I don't know what is all coming out in 2023 quite
I
yet.
can
Oh,
probably say
the second half of Invincible for sure. Looking forward to that.
there's a couple of shows that are gonna have 2024 release dates that I don't know if they're I don't know the exact release dates, but I know they'll have 2024 premieres for the new seasons. The Boys, I think, is coming out with season 4 this year,
I'm hoping
and
so.
me too, because I love that show. I just need to watch Gen V before that comes out.
There is
Um,
an animated series that got its start on YouTube called Has Been Hotel is getting a full fleshed animated series on Amazon Prime Video.
really?
It's
Okay.
Yeah, it's about a girl who works for a hotel in hell who is actually trying to save the souls of the people there, get them to be good so that they can leave
I
in complete defiance to her father, who is Satan.
I
you
could
know.
is there a character named Alistair in that show?
Yes, I believe so.
That's the show that song Insane came from, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that I mentioned
Okay.
earlier. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
got
the
kind
show.
of
That's
like a the Beetlejuice animated series kind of vibe to
yes.
it with the animation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah. But there's
mixed
another
with maybe a little Billy and Mandy.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. That gives off major Billy and Vandy, wow, Billy and Mandy vibes. But there's another show I think is got renewed for a fourth and final season. I could be wrong on the fourth and final, but I know it got renewed for a fourth season. Uh, Only Murders in the Building, and I'm excited. I'm
Okay,
excited
yep,
for this
yep.
next season.
On April 12th, it looks like the live action adaptation of the video game series Fallout will be hitting Amazon Prime Video, and that's got the
Okay,
girl who plays Jackie and Yellow Jackets in it. Um,
okay,
and it's also got Walton Goggins from Tarantino fame, Tarantino
yes,
movies. Looking forward to that. Let's see. There's a Charlotte's Web adaptation coming to Max next December. It looks like,
really.
and there is there's another Walking Dead show called the Ones Who Live.
I know we
Let's
probably
see.
won't see a premiere for it this year, but I'm hoping we find out more about the at least find out more about the Harry Potter series that's going to be on Max this year if we don't see a
Oh,
premiere.
okay. Oh shit, the Spiderwick Chronicles. I read those books as a kid.
Oh yeah, no,
Coming to the Roku channel. Interesting.
oh really? Well, it's a good thing I have a Roku
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah, and it looks like we got a bunch of stuff here without a release date. Oh, we're supposed to get a new Daredevil. We were supposed to get the next Daredevil series on Disney Plus this year. I don't know if we still will now or not, but we are getting Echo. Echo is supposed to be coming in like January or February, and
Mm-hmm.
that is based off a character that was introduced in Hawkeye.
Okay.
Um, Speaking of which, I forgot to mention that season 2 of What If is on Disney Plus now, and
I
they do like
noticed that.
one episode a day.
Now
Um,
I'm gonna backtrack a little bit back into 2023.
Moana
There
the series coming in 2024.
there was something that I decided that I wanted to try and give it a shot because I've never really shown interest in it before, but Sarah and I we watched the Doctor Who special one that they have on Disney Plus, and I actually it was a really good introduction to the Doctor Who world. It was something that was done something completely new from anything that they've done before. Because it was made the four specials were made specifically for Disney Plus, and all four of them came out
Nice.
in 2023. But I was into it. I liked it.
Okay.
It's right up my fucking alley.
Okay. Well, besides all those other things I mentioned, I'm also just looking forward to whatever surprises that come our way
Hmm.
this coming year in terms of like, the stuff that gets announced at Comic Con and Summer
Yeah.
Game Fest, and now that the strikes are over, all the stuff we get to see.
Hmm.
Also, you know, real quick, just because I forgot to mention them, Strays came out last year. We watched that.
Yes,
We
we
enjoyed
did.
it. And in video games, Super Mario Brothers Wonder and the Super Mario RPG remake,
Hmm.
both pretty solid. Legend
Yes.
of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't played it yet, but I hear good things.
I think Sarah
So
said she has a
just
digital
such a good
copy.
year for games.
I think Sarah said she has a digital copy of Breath of the Wild. So when I get my Switch, I'm gonna get my hands on Breath of the Wild and see if I can get that play that. Try
For
and
you, I recommend playing that game with a guide. I don't recommend for you personally. I don't recommend trying to figure that one out on your own. I recommend just like pulling up like if you had like a actual physical strategy guide in front of you, like the old paper book ones, just pulling
ooh,
up one of those online and going
okay.
along with it.
Probably go and see if I can
Yeah,
find a guide for it on IGN.
or something. Yeah, you probably can.
Yeah.
But okay, well, with all of that, looking forward to the upcoming year and recapping the last year, I think I'll call that a good stopping point for this one.
Yeah.
So, let me know, folks, if you're watching this on YouTube, remember to click that like button, but also let me know in the comments down below your favorite content from 2023, your favorite movies, games, shows, music, whatever it was, the stuff that came out that you love the most, or you can email me at mroversoul53@gmail.com. Also, I'm on Twitter at Oversoul53, and yada yada, so on and so forth. And you?
You can find me on the website formerly known as Twitter, at The Vaping Fiend. You can find me on TikTok at the.vaping.fiend. And if you want to follow me or add me on Twitch or PlayStation Network, you can find me at The Vaping Fiend.
Yeah, Adam, he needs more people to Fortnite with.
Yes, I do. Yes, I absolutely do.
Get that practice in. Get that practice.
Yes.
I think I need to check that later, and see what my gifts are right now waiting on me before that ends.
Yeah,
but
I should probably do the same.
Oh, speaking of things ending, that's the end of this episode. Thanks for listening, everyone. Happy New Year, happy birthday to my co-host, and hopefully...
Yes, thank you, and Happy New Year, everybody.
And hopefully a happy 2024 to all of you. I know 2023 was a rough one for some of us, but hopefully the next year will be better.
Yeah.
So...
I'm really hoping so.
With all that in mind, thanks for listening, stay safe out there, and goodbye.
Bye.